Hello, I'm Sally Cat. I want to tell you about how a condition called PDA, that's pathological demand avoidance, is far too often misdiagnosed as other things like personality disorder. Hey? My GP agreed to refer me to be assessed for autism. While I was waiting for this, I saw a web page about borderline personality disorder. The page said that I was likely to have BPD, that's borderline personality disorder, if I could check more than half of the traits. These were fear of abandonment, unstable relationships, unclear or unstable self-image, impulsive self-destructive behaviours, self-harm, extreme emotional swings, chronic feelings of emptiness, explosive anger, feeling suspicious or out of touch with reality. I realised that for how I'd been when I was younger, I could check pretty much all of them. Then, the psychiatrist who assessed me for autism wanted to know about my history and agreed with my belief that I'd had BPD but cured myself through all the counselling I've been through. And he agreed that I'm autistic as well. He diagnosed me of high-functioning autism and traces of emotionally unstable personality disorder. He said that this is what we tend to call BPD now. I was really happy to have this diagnosis. It confirmed that the struggle I've always had has been real, not just me being lazy and weak, and I was really proud to have overcome BPD through my own efforts. Then I heard about PDA. I couldn't find much information about what it's like for adults, but what I could find out did sound a bit like me. These PDA traits were resisting demands obsessively, appearing sociable but with difficulties, excessive mood swings, often switching suddenly, comfortable in role-playing and pretending, language delay, I'm not actually sure about that one, and obsessive behaviour, often towards people. I joined an online adult PDA group to find out more. I got on really well with the other members of the group, and I learnt not just that it seems likely I have PDA, but that PDA is often misdiagnosed as other things.
I've been going to shrinks voluntarily since youth, just to try to figure out what the fuck was going on in my life. Not just a few, but lots and lots of different shrinks. Without exception, they all tend to focus on their own personal area of expertise. If they believe bipolar disorder to be their thing, well then look for the incidence of bipolar disorder that they diagnose to be higher than the average rate. Personally, I presented as incredibly functional and normal. About the only consistent diagnosis I ever received was depression or dysthymia, which is a form of long-term, low-grade depression. Fair enough. I likely had developed a touch of depression by adulthood. Anxiety and depression are the two leading symptoms that drive many people to seek treatment and diagnosis of what eventually has been discovered to be a formerly unknown autism spectrum disorder.
And then I found out that PDA is often misdiagnosed as borderline personality disorder because it can seem similar on the outside, and not many professionals know about PDA.
Hiya, I'm Jillian. I have a confirmed diagnosis of 8 years now of an avoidant borderline personality disorder, but suspect this is possibly due to the behaviours that exhibit some sort of personality disorder, fluctuating on and off the borderline as a secondary mental health illness from what I suspect is the unseen primary causing all my difficulties since as young as I remember from around age 3 years of age. I believe I have PDA with autistic-like traits.
I can't believe they diagnosed Jillian as what?
The stupid thing is that my diagnosis of avoidant borderline personality disorder, let's not confuse this, not borderline personality disorder and not avoidant personality disorder, but an avoidant borderline personality disorder. It doesn't even exist. This diagnosis that I've been given is fabricated. Yes, completely made up. They diagnosed me with borderline personality disorder and I questioned them on my extreme avoidance to everyday tasks. The mental health team looked at me puzzled and followed with, well, that's because you have an avoidant borderline personality disorder. Now this is diabolical as it's not even a real diagnosis, but when I've asked them to assess me for autism and PDA, they said that I can't have autism because I make eye contact and they can't diagnose PDA because it's not in their manuals, but neither is avoidant borderline personality disorder. This makes me super frustrated and so cross.
So there you have it. PDA is getting misdiagnosed as personality disorder and all kinds of other things that it isn't, because the health services aren't recognising it. PDA needs to be recognised for what it is, and we need proper diagnosis.